Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to get started on the SH Figuarts Shinkochhou Seihou Kamen Decade complete form. This is Decade's previous final form and not his super form, depending on which continuity you're into, because I believe Neo Decade gets Super 21 Decade. But who knows how Toei will write that out and do that. But yeah, here we are with Decade complete form, looking pretty awesome. This one translated actually pretty well as a toy. I didn't think it would work out in the renewal format, because even in the first one it looks goofy, but it's weird when you play with these toys, because it's almost like I enjoy this no matter how kind of goofy it is, and that's kind of the charm of it. Whereas here it's like this pretty action figure, but it's still goofy, so it does look really good, and I'm very happy how it came out. Mine has one slightly small paint defect along the left leg. It does not bother me, but in case you see it, yes, I am aware of it, but that's just how mine came, and it doesn't really bother me. So let's talk about our look and articulation. So we slightly, ever so gently turn this guy to the side. And as you can see, like I said, it just looks really good. It's weird because like the cards on the head and the chest, it's for some reason it just works here. It just looks really good in toy format. And I don't know how they were able to shrink it down so well. But then again, I thought about regular Decade and him punching out the cards on that original one. I guess if you just slip them into a figure, it's not really a problem now, is it? Now, let's talk about our articulation. Our head scope, we can look up, we can look down, we can tilt left and right. We have a lot of room for expression, as you can see, leaving that room for him to look down on you very condescendingly. Our shoulders are attached to the arms, so that will allow us to lift our arm up, give you that Hulk punch to the side. We can also lift our arms down, we can rotate around, and we have that rotating joint inside that allows for a lot of room and to manipulate like a butterfly joint. We do have a bicep swivel. Ooh, it's actually pretty tight, but we do have a bicep swivel. As you can see, it kind of changed there, rotating. We are also double jointed. Gives us lots of room for movement. In terms of our upper torso, we can tilt left, we can tilt right. Well, vice versa for those that are mirroring it. We can go backwards. We have a lot of room going backwards. And forwards, we actually get really nice amounts of forward ab crunch as well. Our belt, it has a little bit of wiggle room as well. Going outward, our legs can go about this far. We can lift up to about a 90-degree angle. We have a double joint here at the legs. And, oh, yeah, there is thigh swivel. Yeah. As far as our ankle pivot goes, I think that's pretty generous. It can tilt almost all the way in like O's. Going outward, not so much. And we do get some toe pivot. So now we have Decade complete, looking nice and fine. Yeah. He's going to find you before he sends you into the next dimension. Sometimes I think about the fact that Decade pretty much was like, when Decade showed Ed, he was pretty much like the Yu-Gi-Oh of Kamen Rider. Like no matter what he did, he was going to win. Like Decade was just so broken. I mean, and then we have complete form here, ready to pose up, and looks really nicely. As far as can he balance, can he kick, things like that. So here is the natural side kick. So as you can see, our leg didn't go up that far. But if we position our leg to do let's try to do a side kick, right? Like a leg chop or press. As you can see here, it's looking like he's balancing. Let's try to get it to balance because his leg can't go that far outward. I'm going to say no, it really can't. But I proved myself wrong. So technically we can get the balance, but we can't go higher than this, which is kind of a bummer. But posing this guy up, like I said, it just looks really good for some reason. The black, the white, the pink, it just looks really good as far as the contrast goes. As you can see here, just looking fine. I'm not sure if we can remove. Yep, we can remove it. So we can remove his original driver. I wasn't sure before because I tried pulling it out and it didn't come out. Pressing it back in. Yep, no issues pushing it back in. Our K-Touch, which is our main driver for our complete form, actually does come off as well. So you can actually hold it in hand. We'll get to that in a second. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stand this guy up, or at least make him look really good. And then we're going to get ready to jump into accessories. So let's do that right now. Now, accessory-wise, I left them all the same. Accessory-wise, we get a pointing hand. So let's actually get a focus on. There we go. So you will get one pointing hand for the right hand. You will get two trigger hands These will allow you to hold the ride book in gun form. Now, here is the ride book in gun form. Here's our trigger. Ooh, yeah, here's our trigger hand. So as you can see, oh no, I'm bugging. See, this is the wrong. See, this is why we double check things. These are actually not trigger hands. I'm sorry. These are hands for when you have the K-Touch and you want to do the pointing, for when you want to activate an ability on the K-Touch. I apologize. That's my fault, y'all. I got that wrong. We have some opened, relaxed palms. You can also use these as expressions for taunting, saying, hey, come on, or whatever other gesture you want to use. These are K-Touch hands. These are going to hold your K-Touch, so that way it looks really cool while he's holding it. There it is. See as it holds. It has a very nice grip. Next up, these are our sword slash gun holding hands for the ride booker. And now we're going to test it out. So here's the ride book in gun format, using one of the hands. And it always is going to come with a tab to hold it on each one. Here's the ride booker in sword form. Right? Let's actually turn this around. Holding it with no issue. And then we actually have the ride book in book form. This is going to be the one that you can actually store to the side where you want to store your cards, or just place things in the gun. And you still have the option for it to be held right here. So let's pop that in. And then boom. Let's put our K-Touch back on. Make sure I have it the right way. There we go. There we go. Looking good. Now, without further ado, we're going to take a second to clean up the table, and then we're going to jump into the size comparisons, where we talk about how Decade kind of stacks up against older stuff to make it look good with those old final forms, and the newer stuff like Ultimate Kuga, or even if you want to talk about him teaming up with Saber. So let's get to it. Alright guys, now it's time for the size comparison. I'm going to zoom out just a tad bit. There we go. Now we're going to talk about some figures that go along with it. Now, first thing I want to do is compare the Decade first form, the Renewal, as well as Neo Decade. And I want to put these guys next to them so you can see, just what changes in it. So here is normal Decade, and then here we have Neo Decade. Our magentas are slightly different here on each one. But we actually have something really nice here going on. These guys look good together. Can't front. They really do. The eyes are different too. I never noticed that before. The eyes on the helmet. So yeah, we have something nice there. So let's move these guys out of the way. Next up, I want to do my main man, Ultimate Kuga, because these guys definitely do team up a lot in his show. And I feel like these two would be a very good addition to... Whoop, why'd you almost fall? What's going on? I think I've played with you too much. There we go. Those guys look really good together. Kuga has some height on him as well. As regular Kuga starts off a bit smaller, by the time we get to Ultimate, he does gain some height on him. Right? Next up, I want to do Hyper Kabuto. As you can see, Hyper Kabuto is a little bit smaller, but his helmet kind of tops up a little bit higher. These will be a nice comparison of the two, so you can have a little bit of fun there. Oh, and here, as an older SHF, I got Shining Agito. So as an older SHF, I wanted to see how this guy looked next to the Renewal. See how he kind of stacked up. And Shining Agito actually is surprisingly, he's not buff enough, but he doesn't look too bad next to this guy, which is pretty good. So I'm very happy about that. Now we're going to compare some other lines right after we show off Saber, because he's a newer figure. He's a tad bit taller. Like I was saying before, the Saber stuff is actually much bigger. As you can see, standing even next to the Renewal stuff, they're big, like they're taller. Now we're going to compare with some other stuff. So here is Lightning Collection Gold Ranger. And, Decay doesn't look too small, right? But I may actually just raise it up just a little bit. Seems like you guys are looking down just a tad bit. I didn't notice that before. There we go. Right? Here we are with a putty, in case you want to have some army builders for them to fight. Now you can see Not that small, but you know, just a little bit smaller. But it does work in conjunction with its Super Sentai / Power Rangers counterpart. Here we are with a G.I. Joe Cobra Infantryman. Again, you can mix and match a universe. You can do the hell you want. So in case you want to do some infantrymen, here we are, showing them off. I'm not going to try to balance them because I'm going to try to move on to the next thing. Here is a Mythic Legions, a 1.0 style body. These guys are a bit taller. There we go. Actually, significantly taller. So if you want to do your Super Barbarians versus Kamen Rider, this is the way to go. This is how they'll look. And last but not least, we're going to just choose a Marvel Legend. Here is John Walker. And here you have it. Timed out really nicely. I really like the Decade. It goes right into my Kamen Rider collection. It's actually perfectly timed with wanting to get more final forms and them actually announcing Kiva Emperor form. So hopefully we continue to get more final forms to go with Decade Complete. It'll be really, really nice. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy the photos at the end. Thank you for supporting my work, especially because Kamen Rider is more of a passion project than it is for views and likes. I just do it because I really like Kamen Rider. So thank you very much. As always, please be good, do good. Drink your water, guys. Later.